Welcome back, everybody, to the Next Move podcast. And today, we're going to talk about sellers and what to do before you list your home.
Yeah, it's a lot.
There's
a lot to it.
You think doing buyer stuff is a lot, but listings is just...
I mean, there's ways to do it that it's not a lot.
Yeah.
But that's not good for anybody involved. So,
no.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about those. But since I said that, let's talk about the biggest mistakes.
Biggest mistakes.
That sellers make.
Woo-wee.
But before that, we could probably just reiterate interview agents.
Yeah.
Because they're not, if you pick the right agent that understands your situation and how your timeline's going to move and all that, then you're probably not going to run into these mistakes.
No, I don't think so.
But there is some homework to be done.
Yeah.
To the house, for sure. You know, you've got some decluttering that you got to do. You know, you see all the HGTV crap that says, like, you know, you've got to take all the family pictures off the walls and all that. And what I tell sellers is our first showing is our photos online.
Yep.
That's the first thing. That's the first impression. That's crucial, even especially if you're still living there. It's just crucial that nothing in the photo be distracting from the home. So if you've got a collection of, I don't know, what's a crazy collection?
Guns? Beer steins.
Beer steins. Yeah. And you've got them displayed on your wall.
Yeah.
You probably want to take those down and repair the wall if there's any holes or anything, because that's going to be super distracting to a buyer looking online.
Did you ever see that listing? I don't remember who listed it. It was here locally, but he just had like a random skeleton throughout his listing photos.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yep.
I had a listing not very long ago. Shannon, that used to work at Tejas, one of our title friends. I had their house listed, and they had a skeleton that they kept in a hall closet. I'm like, somebody might get a little, whatever. But decluttering, removing things that are going to be a distraction, getting it cleaned. And I don't mean like, hey, we live here clean. Like, I mean getting it professionally cleaned.
Yep.
And like that means like baseboards and mini blinds and all the things.
Yeah.
Fans, all the things need to be cleaned. And carpets. That's pretty important.
Especially carpets.
Yeah. And just fixing any little things that you know are wrong about the house. So if you don't do those things up front, your sales price, your offer prices, just if you get an offer, are just going to keep getting lower and lower until those things are addressed. So it's just better to do that up front instead of saying, let's just put it on the market and see what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's just not a good idea.
It's, I agree, especially with the fixing stuff and the cleaning.
Yeah.
I mean.
And we're not talking like putting in new appliances. I mean, we're not talking about that kind of stuff. Not like super high dollar, high price tag things. We're talking like, you know, you need to touch up some paint. So you go touch up some paint.
Yep.
Things like that.
Regrout the shower.
Yes. Caulk. Oh my gosh. Inspectors love caulking.
Yes.
They love to say it needs to be caulked.
And especially if you know like there's wood rot on the exterior. Like just go ahead and get it fixed.
Right.
Save us having to go down the rabbit hole with an appraiser or an inspector.
Or if you haven't changed your AC filter in 6 months, go ahead and put a new one in there and have your AC serviced.
Or you bought it back in 2015 and when you went to go list your house in 2025, it was the first time you knew you had to do that.
That's a real life thing for you? Oh, gosh, bless their hearts. Oh, my gosh. I think another mistake that sellers don't think about probably is just pricing. Not that a seller should know exactly what their price should be.
Yeah.
But if we come in and we've pulled comparable properties and we've looked at everything around you that's on the market, which is not a comparable property at that point. It's just your competition. And then you say, okay, well, I trust you, Matt, to list my home, but I want to list $15,000 higher. What's your conversation then?
It's going to sit.
Yeah.
It's going to sit. I'll do it, but it's going to sit.
Yeah. And then you're missing out on probably, because 2 weeks to, I don't know, a month, we start talking like, hey, it's time.
And then by that point, 15 might be high from the initial talk, but it may be $30,000-$40,000. We're off the mark at that point. So
and there's so much on the market in Central Texas right now. There's so many options. That if you are not spot on with pricing, you might get showings. And you might get some good feedback that, hey, we liked it. But if you're not getting an offer or anybody coming back to you, then you're overpriced probably.
Oh, yeah.
More than likely.
Yeah.
So to me, that is a huge, huge mistake that a lot of sellers.
Yeah. That, and I hear Zillow says our house is worth $405.
Can we address that? Let's just talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about the devil in the room. Let's talk about the devil in the room, shall we?
And to be fair, it's not just Zillow.
No, it's Realtor.
They get blamed for it, but it's all of the third-party sites.
Yeah. Because they want to be the source. They want to be the source.
Yeah. But in Texas, it's a non-disclosure state.
Yep.
So no one knows what you paid for, or should know what you paid for your home, except you and possibly your realtor and other realtors.
Yeah.
And that's why the MLS is so important, because we are able to kind of keep that sold data private to protect sellers and homeowners. But we don't know where those third-party sites get their information, because if they're pulling it off the tax rolls, that's probably high. Because we know about property taxes here. Yeah. That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, that's good. We're going to have to talk about that down the road.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if they're pulling it from that, or they're pulling it from other public data, it's generally not correct. Yeah. And they also don't understand our market. It's local.
And they can be 3 to 25% off. At least. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're banking on what one of those third-party people tell you your house is worth, it's probably wrong, unfortunately. Probably very wrong. And I think the other thing that sellers need to understand is that the first 2 weeks your house is on the market, that is critical time. Yeah. That is when we're working so hard to get the exposure that you need outside of the MLS. I mean, obviously you get that.
Yep.
You know, and usually multiple MLS for us, just because of our location. Yeah. We're tied into other ones. And that's a complicated mess that nobody cares about.
Exactly.
But you get the exposure from MLS, then it sends it out to all the third-party sites that everybody searches on most of the time as a consumer. But those first 7 to 10 days, we need to hit it hard. We need to be prepared for open houses. We need to be prepared for any showing that might come our way, because in those first 2 weeks, those showings are serious buyers. Yeah. And they've been waiting to see something like your home. So you need to make sure that you're prepared for those first 2 weeks. And overpricing is going to set you back. Yeah. On that too.
I love being blamed for the overpricing too. Especially when you have the amendment showing, no, I said in 2 weeks we'll drop it because you wanted to start there. So.
And I think, you know, as a seller, I understand, like, you know, you want to try to maximize what you can, because in most cases you're moving to buy another home. Yeah. So you want to make sure you have money to do that and put a big down payment and do all the things. But yeah, you really need to look at not just the numbers on the papers we bring to talk to you about, but also look at your competition and what is around you and how you compare to those homes.
Yeah, I agree.
Because buyers right now get to be really, really picky.
Very picky.
Very picky.
Yeah.
And there's way more listings than there are buyers right now.
Yeah.
But there are buyers.
There are buyers. And they have options.
Yeah. And some of those options include new construction. And some of those options include concessions from new construction that we're talking tens of thousands of dollars in some cases. And so you've got to take all of that into account and figure out, we have someone that just had this happen. On paper, the comps that he had pulled for this listing he had made complete sense. Yeah. I mean, it was spot on when you're looking at price per square foot. It was spot on paper. But when you looked at what was actually selling and going under contract around this property, it was not spot on. It was about $25,000 higher.
Yep.
So he adjusted it, and a week later,
was it a week?
Week or 10 days later, it was less than a month later.
Yeah.
He had an offer and he's under contract.
Yeah.
So
it was what is it? The average days on market for that neighborhood, I think, were like 80 something days, and he got it under contract in 45.
Yeah. So he cut the time in half because he was willing to look at the positioning of the property in the place it was at. Yeah. And that's crucial.
Yep.
And another reason you need somebody local helping you, because we know these neighborhoods. We drive these neighborhoods. We've helped people buy and sell in those neighborhoods before, most likely. So. And
then there's the hard conversations you have to have with a seller, like commission.
Right.
Compensation. Not commission. Not commission. Compensation. Is that on our little?
Yeah. Well, it's not, but it should be.
Yeah. Well, I would say it would fall under pricing strategy.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. That goes back to that buyer's rep we talked about in the other episode.
Yeah.
And preparing the sellers for someone asking.
Yeah.
To have their buyer's agent paid.
Are we allowed to discuss that?
No numbers.
No numbers?
You can't put a number on the percentage.
Okay.
But you can discuss
it. So with EXP, where the seller pays the buyer's agent. So when we negotiate with the seller, we're only negotiating our compensation. But
as the listing agent.
The listing agent.
Right.
But the way I always approach it is like, look, this is I'm running these figures for you, and this is based off of current market trends for seller's concessions, repair allotment, and paying the buyer's agent. And if I get a rebuttal on that, I'm always like, well, look, do you have a shot glass? And what's your biggest mixing bowl? Let's go get them. And we'll go to the kitchen, and I'll put the shot glass down, and I'll put the mixing bowl on. And I was like, if you don't pay a buyer's agent, we have a pool about the size of a shot glass. If you do, we have this many buyers. And they're like, okay.
And have you had people, like, give you flack over that, or have most people been like, oh, okay, I get it?
Yeah, most of them are like, yeah, okay, I get it. But then it just comes down to like running numbers, and sometimes they're like, well, I can't do what you're suggesting, but I will do this amount. And I'm like, hey, you're paying them.
It's something.
Yeah, and if they have
and the option for the buyer's agent, then, if they feel like they're owed more for the transaction, they can have the buyer pay whatever is remaining. They can have them pay the difference. I haven't even run into that really at this point. I haven't. I've been able to negotiate that for myself. And that's kind of my approach to it too. And I tell sellers this. I have to come in here and negotiate what you're going to pay me as your agent. So I feel like if the buyer's agent wants you to pay them, they should have to negotiate with you for that.
Exactly.
I shouldn't do that for them. They're not helping me do this right now.
Exactly.
So that's been my approach to it. And it's actually worked out pretty well. And then I also like to remind sellers, somebody probably paid your agent when you bought this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's all negotiable, but in the big grand scheme of things, especially if you're about to go buy something else, you probably want to make sure that you're being a little bit open to that conversation.
Exactly.
At least.
I agree.
But it and all of that is negotiable, but we do try to build that in. I always try to give them like a worst case scenario number.
I do too.
Like, I estimate super high on everything, so they're super happy when we get to the closing table because, hey, I'm making more money than you said I was. And it's like, perfect.
Exactly. It's crazy. It's crazy how it all works out, but
Yeah. Another thing that's really important too in the preparation, I kind of skipped this, I'm going back to that, but if you have the documents from when you purchased the home, sometimes some of those are very helpful to save you money.
Yeah, survey?
Yeah, the survey, for instance, the boundary survey, that's a huge deal if you can have that. I think it's like $750 or more.
I think it depends on the lot size.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I just did one with Turley they just quoted me one last week, and I want to say it was like $600.
Yeah, for lot and block, just like a normal subdivision. Yeah.
But I mean, I've had them go as much as $10,000.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, when you start talking big acreage, big tracts of land, then you're talking a lot of money for a surveyor to go out there. But those little things like that are ways that we're going to try to save you money in the list on the listing side of things if we're representing you. what about like, let's talk about multiple offers. Let's talk about that. How, because in 2020 we were,
I mean, shit, you'd have a house on the market an hour and already have like 2 offers.
Even.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some cases I don't think I got the sign out.
Yeah.
And it was gone.
This is gone.
Or I had 5 showings scheduled and I didn't even have the key in the lockbox yet.
Yep.
Like 2020 was wild.
2020.
21 and 20 were.
Yeah, I'd say about and still into like halfway through 22.
Yeah, that's true.
22 is where it started to take a upward hike.
Yeah, things got a little crazy there for a
little
minute.
Crazy.
But in those days, it was like, I mean, it wouldn't be crazy to have 7, 8, 10, 12 offers on one property within 2 days.
No.
I mean, I remember I had to create a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
For multiple offers.
I used your spreadsheet a couple times.
Yeah, I think I've shared that with a lot of people. But it was a way that I could just like look at just the basics of each offer.
Yeah.
Just the numbers, just the money that made sense to the sellers, and put that in front of them with the offers and say, okay, this one gets you this one gets you this one gets you, what do you want to do?
Exactly.
And a lot of the offers were exactly the same.
Yeah.
So that made it tough.
Yep.
But we're not in a market necessarily for multiple offers. I'm not saying that's not happening. It is happening.
It is happening.
But there's a very small range of homes, or price range of homes that's happening in. Yeah. I feel like, and it's got to be like almost like an anomaly. Like it's just a one-off situation. But those things do happen, and it doesn't mean that your house wasn't priced high enough. That's not necessarily what it means. If you get multiple offers, I mean, it could mean that, but it more than likely it's not.
I think it's more location and the home itself and
condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've had multiple offers here in the past 6 months. One was the home has been on the market for 2 days, and we were able to win that one. But then, I think back in March, I submitted an offer, and the home had been on the market 6 months, and it was just right time.
There's no rhyme or reason
and
to it.
They got like 3 other offers, and we got beat out.
So crazy. And I feel like when it rains, it pours in that way, because you'll wait months to even get anything on paper.
Yeah.
And then it finally comes, and then you get 10 more phone calls like, is this still available? Is it still available? It's like, no, where were you 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, it's gone.
When I was begging for showings,
it's
where
gone.
were you?
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous.
But yeah, multiple offers is still a possibility, but in this market, in our market specifically, it's just not something we're seeing hugely right now. So as a seller, don't go into it thinking that you're just gonna get all these offers the first couple of days. Yeah. Those days are gone.
You can make that happen, but it may backfire in your face.
Yeah, and you may not end up making as much money as you would have. Yeah. So so let's talk about, we told them they need to prep the house, but what's going to get them a return? Like, what should they be paying attention to as they're prepping that is actually going to pay off in the long run, do you think?
If we're talking like minimal money out of pocket, probably like painting, caulking, fixing like rotten wood on the outside, maybe.
I think HVAC service.
HVAC service is another big
I
one.
put that on almost every one of my my transactions, just because it usually needs to be.
Because most people are most agent, I know I do it. Hey, even if it comes back clean, have the HVAC cleaned and serviced. A good cleaning. Yeah. Professional cleaning.
Yeah. Like a move out clean. Even if you're still living there, just do a move out clean that gets the baseboards and just fans and things that you live there. So my house is the same way. You live there, you don't care. Yeah. It's your junk. It's your dirt.
Yeah, exactly. it's my skin.
That's right. It's gross.
Yeah, it's the truth though.
It's so gross. So unsanitary. But yeah, I agree. Just the cleaning and like the little things that you see every day as you're walking through your house. Like if you have an outlet plate that's cracked or broken,
fix it,
just go to get one for 50 cents at Home Depot and put it on there. That's going to be most important to buyers, I think. What about staging? How do you feel about staging? I know you do that a lot.
I mean, if it's going to be vacant, I encourage staging when it's vacant. Home occupied staging, knickknacks and stuff.
If you think they need it.
Yeah, if I think they need it, but vacant, yeah, it helps out a lot. It helps so people can say, well, for sure a king size bed's gonna fit here, or yeah, the couch does look really good there and stuff like that. So, I mean, I used to pay somebody to stage it with my own stuff, but then clients decided to keep letting their kids mark it all up. So now,
well, that stinks.
Yeah, so now I give them the option when I do the listing appointment. I'm like, hey, I think you should do this, and this lady over here provides a service for that. Just give her a call and have her come by, and she'll talk you through everything.
Yeah.
So,
the other thing is, professional photography is non-negotiable for us.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're dealing with an agent who's going to come in and take pictures with their phone of your property, that's not the right agent for you.
Hands down.
Yeah, because yes, it is an upfront cost for us as the agent. I mean, I pay for those for my clients. I'm assuming you do too.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
But it's worth it. It's 100% worth it because I get drone footage.
Yep.
I get some video. I can even throw in a Matterport, which is like a 3D walkthrough of the home. And I get a 2D floor plan, like all these different things that I can use to help market the house. It's totally worth it to me to have those pictures.
I agree. And I use Kevin with Austin Rocks out of Austin. Is he in Austin? Yeah. Anyway, he's down there somewhere.
Yeah. Van Vandergriff.
And he does a really good job. I mean, he just, I can give him a week heads up. Like when I walk into the listing appointment, I already have 2 dates for the next week for them to come in and take pictures.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a great plan. And a lot of these photographers, especially if it's still owner occupied, they understand that.
Yeah.
They get it. And if the homeowner's there or if we're there kind of helping the photographer get through the house or whatever, we'll move stuff that needs to be moved and then take the shot and then put the stuff back. So there is a way to kind of temporarily stage it for photos without having to do a whole lot of like getting a storage unit or anything like that. Like there are ways around it.
Yeah.
But it is important to have it as decluttered, stuff off counters and all of that for the photos if you can. But those professional photos are non-negotiable for us. That is just like basic Realtor 101. You've got to have real photography done.
And I'll even do, like, if it's vacant, I'll have the owner do the cleaning, and that's the only cleaning we'll do.
Yeah.
Depending on how long it sits on the market. But, like, if it's owner occupied, they pay for the initial cleaning, and then the closing cleaning I handle. So. Yeah.
And I think that virtual staging is also a way that you can do it. I do that, especially on, I just had one in Temple where I did it. It was empty. It was a smaller home, and it was kind of an open floor plan, but it needed you needed some direction when you walked in the door.
Yeah.
So if I walk in there and I think, ooh, a buyer's not going to know what this is, then I just throw some virtual staging in on my photos with the other photos. And there's some really cool apps out there that help you do that.
Yeah.
And it looks very convincing.
Very convincing.
What about landscaping? What do you feel about that? It's tough here.
It really is because, I mean, 1 week the grass could be green and perfectly fine, and then the next week it's, like, burnt.
Yeah.
And then same thing with, like, flowers. Like, 1 week they're fine, the next week they're dead.
Yeah.
So.
I usually tell my clients, just add a little bit of color somewhere out in the front. I don't care if it's in the necessarily flowers being planted, but have some color somewhere. A wreath on the door, something.
Yep.
Or that gives
like the mulch or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fresh mulch is always good. It's always good. And just so you know out there, as realtors putting these pictures in MLS that go out to these third-party sites, we're not supposed to touch them up.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to add green grass.
Yeah.
And take stuff off the pictures and all of that. It's supposed to be a true depiction of what you're going to walk into.
Yeah.
So if your realtor's telling you, don't worry about that, I'll just edit that out. That's also a red flag. Red flag.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, it's just not worth it for us to do that. So just know that, your yard may not be plush and green.
Yeah.
And that's okay because your neighbor's probably isn't either in a lot of cases. So don't stress about that. That's just the rule. We can't touch them up. It just is what it is. Okay. Talk about the the timing. Do we have timing anymore?
Dude, I don't know, man. So I know
We used to.
when I pre-COVID, it was like, okay, well, the selling months were like sometime in March to like sometime in September, and then we were slow from like October to February, March,
Yeah.
and it seems like the past couple of years, it's just been nonstop.
But the world's been nonstop.
Yeah, that's true. We still have like our PCS seasons and
Yeah.
our soft PCS season, and then with the doctors and nurses coming in the spring, early summer. I mean, it's all over the place.
Yeah, I know. I do still think there's a little bit of truth to people don't want to move right around when school's starting.
Yep.
They don't want to move right around the time that school's ending.
Yep.
They don't want to do it around holidays.
Yep.
But I do think our spring and summer season are definitely busier times of year for us. But it's not like it was.
No. You get like maybe a couple phone calls in the fall, winter, and maybe
it's
early
so
spring.
Weird. My October and November were crazy last year.
Yeah.
And I don't know the last time that I've had that happen where it's just been like.
What was it? September. It was 20. Last year was 25. So it would have been 24. I mean, I had 11 houses under contract in September and all of them closed in October.
That's crazy.
And then last year I still had four or five closings, October, November, December.
That's crazy.
Each month. So
there's no rhyme or reason to it. I don't think anymore. There's customarily, like I said, spring and summer are usually the best times because people are more open to moving because they don't have the kids stuff going on in school and things. But yeah, it's tough. So I would just say if you're thinking about selling, thinking about putting your house on the market here, especially in Central Texas, just do it when you're ready.
Yeah.
Don't try to time the market. You try to time the market, it's like playing the lottery.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like going to buy a scratch-off ticket.
I agree.
It may work, probably won't.
Yeah.
You may get $1, get your money back, but probably not going to help in the long run. So, yeah. Okay. So how do you have like a whole process for marketing, or do you just kind of, depending on the house, like do you do the same exact thing for every single listing?
I do.
Okay. What's your process like?
Well, first I call Michaela and say, hey, this just went active.
We love Michaela.
Yeah. And then when I see her, when she does that initial post, I will hop on Google ads and Facebook ads or Instagram ads, and I'll run like 2 weeks worth of ads for like $100 on each platform.
And do you see a lot of return? No.
Yeah, sometimes I'll get phone calls off of it. And then I'll run, of course, open houses. I'll do all the marketing for that with the event and everything. And then, I mean, that's really it.
Yeah.
YouTube. I'll do a YouTube video.
And then it's just kind of like putting it on social media just a little bit. You know, everybody kind of gets a turn on your social media, basically. Yeah. And the photographer that you use, he always does a video for you.
Yep.
So you have that unbranded that you share with our little collaborative group, and then we can post it.
Yes, ma'am.
To help you market that property. That's pretty much what I do too. Like I get it. I do like, hey, here we are. And
I really don't know if there's like anything else we can do to market it at that point. Like social media is so big, like especially running ads. I do targeted ads though.
Yes.
Like if I see like an influx of people coming from Los Angeles, California, because you don't want to be hippies anymore, I will target
hippies here.
I will target 50 miles around LA.
Yeah.
I'll target. I got an influx of phone calls from people out of the Northeast. And so I did 100 miles around New York City. And so,
why not?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
Exactly.
You never know. I'm the same way. I also, through our CRM with EXP, I use that boost the property thing, and it shoots it out to Facebook and Google. But I really think my return has been better doing it through there than just doing it through
directly on it. I'll have to give it a shot.
And it's cheaper.
It's cheaper. Okay.
So, but that's basically what I do too.
Okay.
Since kind of coming back into production after not being in production for a little bit, I have had to really get into the groove of social media, and I hate it. But my sellers love seeing that I'm putting their stuff out there. And now we have the ability to tag them so they can share it.
Have you seen, do you do any flyers?
Sometimes I have a couple of sellers who think that that's super important. So I try to do that.
I do that. I'll do I'll do the MLS sheet with like just a random note, like pick your neighbor. We're just listed.
Yeah.
And I'll just one morning when I have nothing to do, I'll just go take those flyers and I'll put them on all the doors. And
look at you! I didn't know you did that. Yeah. Dang, boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Good for you. I thought you meant flyers out in front of the house.
I do that.
You do that too?
Yeah, I have the little flyer box with the flyers in it.
Yeah. Sometimes I think, some little kid's running around with 20 of my flyers in his backpack, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Maybe his mom's going to see it and want to move. I don't know.
Exactly.
But yeah, I will do that too. If the seller wants that, I will do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think open houses are super important, like I said, in that first couple weeks.
I agree 100%. The problem I have with some is just either they have kids or they work from home, and it's just sometimes it just doesn't work out, but sometimes it does.
You can only do what you can do.
Yeah.
I guess the moral of the story is it's more than just the marketing has to be more than just putting your sign out in front of the house and putting it in MLS.
Yeah.
If that's all you're getting from an agent, or that's their entire marketing plan, which is something you should ask to see or ask to discuss when you do meet with a realtor that you're interviewing, is how are you going to market this? Show me.
Yeah.
Show me an example. Show me another listing that you have or something, because that is going to tell you everything you need to know about the way that they are going to put your house out and present it. But yeah.
And even then, sometimes just the right buyer, the right time hasn't happened.
I have one of my listings. The sellers are fantastic, and they've just been great to work with. But they are so supportive of every post that I make about their house. Like, it is so cool that they share my post about their house and then tag me in their share. And I'm like, heck yeah. Let's do it. And we had an open house a few weeks ago, and I had 59 shares on an open house flyer I put on Facebook. And I really think it was because of the sellers sharing it and their friends and family. And we had 9,000 views on that post. On that post for the open house. 9,000. And guess how many people came?
3.
8.
Oh, okay.
8 people out of 9,000 people that saw it came.
That's still good.
It is. I mean, it was good. I'm not complaining. But it's just crazy that when you think 9,000 people saw this, 59 people shared it.
Yeah.
And 8 people came.
Jesus.
So that tells you about open houses too.
Yeah.
About how you just never know how that's going to turn out.
You never know.
No, you never know. But I really appreciate the sellers that come alongside and just say, we're all in this together. Let me help you.
Yeah, exactly.
And that it validates your work.
Exactly.
Yeah, to know that they appreciate what you do. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so tell them when they sit down with an agent to interview them about listing their home, what are some questions that you get?
I get a lot, like, how did you come up with that number? I get a lot.
Do you do like a formal CMA presentation?
I do a formal CMA.
Me too.
I show them the breakdown. There's been a couple times where, like, I've printed it off and accidentally left it on the computer. I've had that happen a couple times. But for the most part, I'll have the CMA, and then I'll do, like, the RPR
A CMA
report.
is a comparative market analysis, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
We talk in a lot of initials.
Yeah, a lot of acronyms.
Yeah, acronyms.
But I'll have the RPR report to support some of the data too. And you know what?
Explain what RPR is, because a lot of people probably don't know about that.
I don't really know how to explain it.
I don't
even know what it stands for.
It's a realtor property resource.
What she said, realtor property resource.
I think that's what it is.
I guess. I just know I can type in the address and then select some comps, and then it'll do all the data pool.
Yeah. Is that kind of how you validate your number after you've looked at other comps?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I'll have I'll look at the comps and go back and forth, and I'll have a couple of different ranges. Like,
Yeah.
do you want to sell it fast? We need to start here. If you
Yeah.
want to, if you're cool with it waiting, we can probably sit here, but we're probably going to sell here. And then the last one is like, well, I pulled all the numbers to include the ones off the third party sites and averaged it based off of what they got and versus what I got, and then I kind of averaged that out, and this is the number I came up with.
Yeah.
I mean, it might sell at this price too, and so
Yeah.
I give them lots of options.
Yeah, I do too. That's because ultimately it's their decision.
It
right,
is.
As a seller.
It truly is.
It's their call. We're gonna do what we can at whatever number you want us to, but we want to set the expectation up front that you're way off.
I've won listings, and they've told me after I won the listing that I was the lowest sales price, but they felt like my character was better than the other people they interviewed. And I was like, who was it? You want to tell me who it was?
Yeah.
So I can talk shit to them in the back room.
Well, that's part of it too, is just being able to have the honest upfront conversation, because that helps the whole transaction go a lot smoother if you know that they understand, hey, we're a little high. We're a little high here. So I think that's a good thing to ask. I think also, how are you going to adapt if we're a month or 2 months in and we haven't had any showings?
Yeah.
That's a great question to ask too. What's your strategy? Because it doesn't always have to be about the price. If you've got it priced in the range that we've suggested and our comps are good, which in fairness, right now there's not a lot of great comps in some areas. I mean, you really are digging for data in some of these places around Central Texas. But I just think that that's important to know what other options are there for me as a seller if I'm not getting showings besides lowering the price, because maybe that number we're at is your bottom or close to your bottom line.
Yeah.
So how do you address that? Do you feel like if you're not getting any showings in 45 days?
If I don't have any showings in 45 days, I guess it just comes down to what they want to do.
Yeah.
Like at that point, if they told me initially they need it sold fast, and we'd be like, hey, we should probably drop the price.
Yeah.
We should probably drop it significantly.
Yeah.
But if they're like, we're just gonna keep on, like we're not in no rush to sell, you know, but if we listed it in November, and we're talking, it's now beginning of March, then I'm not gonna worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's important to know how somebody is gonna react when that's happening, because I think a lot of agents just don't want to have the talk.
They don't,
because it's a hard conversation.
It's a very hard conversation.
And at the end of the day, we want your listing. We want to help you get it sold, and it's how we feed our families. So we want the deal, but Matt and I are not willing to just have you sign just to have it not sell. Like we're not in that game. That's not helping anybody.
Nobody.
Yeah. So if you are talking to an agent and they're like, we'll talk about it when we get there, red flag.
Yeah.
Red flag.
Those are always the worst agents to work with too.
Yeah. What have you done recently on any of your listings that you think worked really well? Besides dropping the price.
Advertising if it was assumable.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, the buyer ended up getting was it like a 2.3 or 2.5 interest rate, but it took longer to close, and there was a lot of hoops to jump through, but it wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah, and sometimes that's a great option for a seller, if they need to get out quick.
Yeah.
But the buyer also has to take into account, you're going to get to assume what's left of this loan.
Yeah.
But the equity that the seller has,
you're paying out of pocket.
You got to pay it out of pocket, and you got to figure out how you're going to do that. And there are some lenders, I think, who can help with that if you don't have the cash. But that is something to think about, because you don't just get to assume the loan and then everybody's happy. No, the seller still wants the equity.
And then sellers not being educated, or the agent's not really educating them, like unassumable. I had a buyer earlier this year, late last year. We thought he was good, and we were working the pre-approval, and then the lender called me and said, hey, he can't buy this $500,000 house. he can only afford, I think it was $350. And I was like, why? And she was like, I was like, he just closed on his house. He was like, he did just close on his house. And a non-VA person assumed that VA loan.
Oh, so his entitlement was
still tied up.
Yeah. See, we're going to talk about loan types in our net. That's a great segue, Matthew.
Yeah,
you didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
That was clutch.
Yeah.
We're hoping to have a couple of our lender friends come in and sit down with us and talk to us about the different loan types and entitlement on VA loans and what that means, because honestly, it's very confusing to us because we don't do it every day.
Yeah.
But there's a formula that they have to go by on how much entitlement the VA person has.
Yep.
And it doesn't always work out, unfortunately.
Nope.
That's for a zero down payment.
Yeah,
now they could probably still buy if they want to put a down payment down.
That buyer, I think he ended up having to bring like $3 or $4 grand to the table, but it
still worked out in his favor.
Yeah, he was so pissed off when we found out.
But yeah, I mean, those assumable loans are great for a seller, but there's bumps in the road along the way for sure that you need a good agent to kind of help you out with. And not every loan is assumable.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah. So, but those are things that I would definitely be asking an agent, things that we are asked probably every single time we go to an appointment. Yeah. I will say I have been to a lot more listing appointments where I'm being interviewed, which is a good sign. I'm always open to being interviewed. I welcome it because I'm confident in my numbers. I
won a listing agreement. They interviewed me and one other guy. The other guy was like, we really need to list your house at $500,000. And I was like, when I came in and interviewed with him, I was like, based off of comps, this is where we need to be. We need to be around 430. I was like, I know you paid 425 for it, but 430 because of the market, that's where we need to be. And I was like, even then we may still be high because there's a couple of pending ones, and depending on what they close at, since they're bigger, this is going to impact us. And
good or bad.
Good or bad. And I was like, so it may be a month or two before I can give you like a clear picture. And they were like, okay, cool. And then they were military. And so we just sat around for like the next hour and a half and just cut up. And then at the end of it, they were like, thanks for your time. And then the next day they called and said, hey, can you come back and have another chat with us? And I went back and we sat around and they're like, look, the other guy wants to sell our house for higher, but we liked you a lot more.
Because you were honest with them.
Yeah.
You were upfront with them. And you proved it to them.
Yep. So
that's the thing. But as a seller, you just have to be open to that. We're not trying to beat you up when we come in there. We really want to help you get the most that you can. But it just doesn't always work out like that, especially in I would call it a buyer's market that we're in right now.
I would agree with you 110%.
Yeah, and there's just so much competition that, and honestly, those pending comps.
Yeah.
You know, you take a listing and it's pending, and the price that it was listed at makes sense for your numbers. I just had this happen on one of my listings, and one of those pendings closed. They dropped it $37,000 and sold it.
How much concessions did they get as well?
Well, they dropped it 27 and gave them 10 in concessions. So then I had to go to my clients, the sellers of this other home that's literally around the corner, and this home was almost a carbon copy of theirs.
Yeah.
In the same neighborhood, and I had to say, hey, this comp just really messed us up.
It's
And there's not enough good comps because the sales have not been what they normally are in a lot of areas. And so appraisers are forced to look at those lower ones where they might have been able to not use them and use a different one in the past. So that's another reason that the pricing just it's tough right now.
Do you think condition factors in to price?
The condition of the home?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because when I go to a listing appointment and I haven't ever seen the home before, I have a range when I go.
Yep.
Of what I think.
I agree.
And as I'm walking the house with the owner,
just mentally checking it off,
adding or subtracting whatever I'm looking at.
Yep.
And then I say, okay, let me go back and look at numbers and finalize a couple of things after seeing the property. I'll get back with you on a hard number that we can go in at. that makes sense. And I had that happen a couple weeks ago. I went on a listing appointment, hadn't seen it. It was a family member had passed away, and the person in charge of the estate was there, wanted me to come over and look at it. And everything I saw online and in MLS and everywhere else said it was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. So my range was for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath in that area. Well, they had added on a whole nother full bath that I didn't know about. And so then I'm like, wait a minute. That's what I told it. Like, this changes everything that I walked in here with. I didn't know this bathroom was here.
Yeah.
So you can't do a listing over the phone. You have to go see it.
Yeah.
Even if the owner's not there, you have to go get inside
physically
of it.
See it. Yeah.
Yeah. We have to. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to us. There's no way for us to do that without seeing the house. So absolutely condition.
It's yeah. And I only say that because I did a listing appointment a couple of years ago, and the guy was like, well, this house just sold up the street for this amount, but you're telling me I can only sell my house for this. I'm like, bro, you got like dog shit stains on the wall and the carpet, and like, did you take a sledgehammer to these doors? Like,
the glamorous side
yeah,
of
I'm like, unless you plan on fixing all this, like, there's no way in hell we're going to get this amount of money.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that just doesn't always pan out the same. It could be your neighbor's house, and it could be a $50,000 difference.
Exactly.
Because of the condition.
I was like, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, next time we will be talking, hopefully, we haven't talked to them yet.
Yeah, we got to talk to the lenders.
Our plan is to have a couple of lenders here and just talk about loan types and qualification and VA eligibility and entitlement and all of that, and just kind of help people get on track for what kind of loan type would work best for them.
I agree. It's going to be great.
It's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be amazing.
Every episode is fantastic, though.
Yeah. All the greatness.
Okay. We'll see you for the next episode of...
Your next move? No. What is our name?
The
next move.
Until then, peace out.
What does he say on that? The way the cookie crumbles.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.